Hi, I'm Josh Chen with DoYogaWithMe. This is an advanced intermediate Vinyasa power class called Crazy Eights. We're going to be moving into Ashtavakrasana, which is a challenging arm balance. So I invite you to join me. Here we go. Let's start in a seat. So grab your block and place your block underneath your seat if you like here. And we'll just take a moment to settle into our bodies. Close your eyes, put your hands on your legs. Find a nice tall spine and just slow down your breathing. Inhale and exhale. Noticing how your belly moves as you breathe, but maybe also how your back body moves while you breathe as well. Bring your hands together to your heart, palm to palm in prayer pose. And just taking a last moment here to focus in your attention and your energy into your body and onto the next practice that we're about to have. Great. Open up your eyes and let's come on to all fours. So hands and knees. Place your hands onto your mat with your hands under your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Spend a couple breaths here just moving into your body. So you can do cat-cow. Inhale, look up and lift your tailbone. Exhale, round your spine. Sometimes it feels good to also go side to side. So just spend a couple moments here, whether you're doing cat-cow or whether you're going side to side, moving around in your neck. You can go back to a child's pose and forward into an up dog, for example. Just spend a couple breaths warming up your body and getting nice and stretched out. Everybody's body is a little bit different, which is why I like to do this and give you a chance to listen to your own body and stretch in a way that feels good. When you're ready, come on back into the middle, hands and knees, and we're going to start by bending the right knee and turning the right foot out to the side. So that can be a little confusing. You can look at me, turning your right foot out to the side off your mat. Place your left foot flat at the back of your mat like warrior two, so your foot's pointed out to the side, and reach your left arm across your ear. Take a little stretch. Look up, maybe at your left hand. Breathe in, and then exhale, round in and bend your elbow. Relax for a moment. Sit back onto your heel. Good. Stretch back out again. Breathe. Exhale, round in and curl. One more time. Inhale, stretch out. And exhale, lower down your hand, turn your foot back and lower your knee down. Okay, let's do the other side. Turn your left foot out to the side, place your right foot flat at the base of your mat in the back, and then take your right arm and stretch it across your ear, lifting your hips, feeling the side of your body stretch. Maybe look up towards your right hand again. And then bring your hips down, elbow rounds in. Inhale, stretch out long again. Exhale, curl it in. One more time, inhale, stretch up. And exhale, lower down, hand, foot back, knee down. Let's do one cat-cow. Inhale, look up, lift your tail. Exhale, round your spine. Come on up into your down dog. Lift your hips. Stretch out your legs for a moment, hamstrings, calves, pedal out your heels. Let's lift up the right leg. Bend your right knee and open up your hips like a puppy peeing on a fire hydrant off to the side. Press both arms straight and try to point your right kneecap up at the sky. Stretch out your hips, your groin here. And then when you're ready, press your right leg straight and lift your right pinky toe as high as you can. Pinky toe up high. Splitting your legs apart. And then lower your leg down. Let's do the same stretch on the other side. Left leg goes up. Bend your knee and open up your hips, pressing your arms straight. Opening up through the front of your left thigh. And then when you're ready, press your left leg straight. Lift and split your legs apart. Stretch, stretch. As wide as you can. And then lower down your leg again. We'll do a little flow. Come to plank pose. Breathe in. Knees or no knees. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, take a back bend, bring your chest forward. Exhale, take it back into your downward facing dog. On your inhale, look forward, breathe in. Walk or step your feet to your hands, standing forward fold. And bow yourself down and relax. Take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers together, and give your arms a gentle stretch. Let's say 75%. If you tend to be super flexible, rather than locking your wrists out and locking your elbows out, see if you can keep a slight bend in your elbows and stretch with a little bit more restraint. Yeah? Relax your head. Breathe here for 3, 2, and lower your hands down. Good. Inhale, lift up halfway with me. Exhale, bow in. Stand up and bring your arms up. Breathe in all the way. And lower your arms down. Let's take it back again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold in half. Lift up halfway and lengthen. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to plank pose. Exhale, knees or no knees, lower down. Inhale, take a back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Spend a couple breaths here. And then let's look forward. Inhale, get ready. Walk, step, or jump, feet to hands. Lift up halfway and breathe. To exhale, fold. Stand up and inhale, arms overhead. Rise. And lower your arms down. Take it back one more time. Breathing in. Exhale, fold in half. Lift up halfway, breathe in. Step back, downward facing dog. Plank pose, breathing in. Again, knees down or not, you can always put your knees down lower. Breathe a back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a second here. Let's do a little side body stretch. So bring your big toes together and come onto the outside edge of your right foot as if you're going to do side plank. But I want you to keep your left hand on the floor. So once again, you're on the outside edge of your foot, but both hands are down. Lift your hips up and you might feel a stretch down into your left armpit, into your left lats muscles. So stretch here. If you're pretty good and you want to go a little bit further here, you're pretty solid, take your left hand and hold on to your right wrist and kind of curve your left elbow down. Keep your hips up high so it's a nice deep stretch here in the left side of your body, left side of your rib cage. Good. Come on down again to down dog and pause. Okay, let's do the other side. Big toes together. Keep both hands down. Come on the outside edge of your left foot. Lift your hips up and feel the stretch into your right armpit. If you want, hold on to your left wrist. Curve your right elbow toward the floor, but keep your hips up high. Once again, you're trying to stretch your right armpit here. Right lats. Here for 3. Hips up for 2. And then lower back down again. Nice work. Look forward, breathe in, walk, step, or jump. Lift up halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold in. Stand up on your inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. And lower your arms down. Okay, separate your feet apart, turn your toes out, and sit down into a deep squat, a malasana. Bring your elbows inside your knees. If you find that your heels are lifting up, that's totally okay. You can have your heels up a bit. Spend a couple breaths here. I like to close my eyes and gently use my elbows to widen into my legs to stretch out my groin muscles a little. And then when you're ready, go ahead and sit down onto your bum. We're going to do a little hit of core. So lots of core is required to be able to do 8-angled pose. So let's start right now. We're going to come into a boat pose. Bum in the middle of your mat. Hold on to the back of your thighs. Lean back and lift your legs up. Okay. You can start here. If you want to do more work, you can let go of your legs. You can also do this with straight knees, but I'm going to do it with my knees bent. You can do straight knees if you want. Okay. Let's hang out here. Hug into the center. Keep your heart lifted and feel your ab muscles, your core muscles working to keep you here for 3. Breathe. For 2. Okay, now try this with me. We're not done. Come down onto your lower back. So your whole back is flat on the floor, but not your shoulder blades. So don't let your shoulder blades touch here. See if you can keep your shoulder blades up, but your lower back, your belly, your ribs are all pushing down. You might be shaking. That's okay. Hold here for 3, 2. Good. Pull back up 2. High boat. Let's go. Right up. Hold and breathe here. If you want, you can straighten your knees. No problem. Keep your heart lifted. Working here for 3. Inhale, exhale. For 2. One more time. Let's go. Come down onto your lower back, but don't let your shoulder blades touch. No, sir. Shoulder blades are up. Ribs pushing down. Feel your abs working. Breathe here. Shaking is good. I'm shaking too. Here for 3, 2. Come back up 2. High boat. Let's go. Inhale, exhale. Heart lifted. Staying strong. Breathe here for 3, 2, and then cross your shins. Good job. Take a little rest. Fold forward. Okay, sit on up. Take your hands behind your body with your fingers pointing in a forward direction, feet wide. Push down into your feet and your hands. Lift your hips up. Lift your nose to the sky as well. Try not to dump your head back, right? So lifting your nose and dumping your head back look similar, but lifting your nose is a little different in that you're actually using your neck to support your head. Hips up. Let's go for 3, glutes, 2, and then lower down. Good job. Rock and roll a couple times, just for fun, forward and back. And then we'll make our way all the way through to down dog. Step through or jump through, up to you. Feel free to take a flow here if you want, going through your push-up and your back bend. Okay, let's take the right leg up to the sky, breathing in, down dog, right leg lifting. Exhale, step forward, right foot to your hand. Lower your left knee down, come up into your low lunge, bring your arms overhead. Take your left hand and lower your left hand off to the side of your mat, onto the wood, and reach your right arm open to the sky. Find a little rotation in your spine. And then from here, if you're feeling pretty good and you want to do a thigh stretch, reach back, bend your left knee and hold on to the outside edge of your foot or your ankle to pull your heel in. Okay, if you can't reach your foot, don't worry about it. The arm goes up to the sky. If you can hold your foot, pull your heel in. Now, try your best to bend your elbow and actually get your heel to touch your butt, right? Might not be possible and that's okay, but do your best. Actually use your arm muscle and do a bicep curl to get your heel in. Some of you, level 2 or 3, I guess, can come down onto your left elbow. It's a nice deep stretch here. Let's hang out for a bit. Breathing. When you're ready, let go of your foot slowly and bring your hands inside your right foot. Walk your right foot over to the side of your mat, and we're gonna stay here to work on the hips a bit. So you can stay here on your hands. Some of you might think about coming down on your elbows instead. You can come down on elbows on blocks is a nice middle option if you want, elbows down on blocks. Spend a couple breaths working here into your hips for lizard pose. Come into your breathing. Okay. Come back up on your hands. Okay. And lift your back knee and turn your back foot down flat for warrior 2. So walk your right foot a bit to the middle of your mat and go ahead and you can windmill yourself up, sitting down into your right leg. Now, no problem if you're not quite set up, just adjust yourself. That left foot points out to the side, that right foot points forward. Sit down into your right leg, warrior 2 pose. Hang out here for a moment, gaze straight ahead over your right hand. Feel the burn in your right leg. Yeah. Inhale and exhale. And then let's lower down. One hand, other hand to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. We'll go through a vinyasa here, plank pose. Breathe in. Knees or no knees, lower down. Inhale as a back bend. Exhale as a down dog. Left leg rises up, breathing in. As you exhale, step your foot forward. Lower your right knee on the ground. We'll come up to a low lunge stretch. Bring your arms up. Stretching here for a moment. And then take your right hand and lower your right hand off to the side. Take your left arm open to the sky, open twist. Option here is to grab onto your back foot. So bend your knee and hold onto your foot if you can reach it. Once again, bicep curl your heel towards your butt. Once you get that heel pretty close, some of you might think about coming down onto your elbow. You can do that if you like. Spend a couple breaths working into this thigh stretch. Breathe what you feel. Okay, let go of your foot slowly. Bring both hands inside your front foot. Walk your left foot over to the side a bit. You have space for both your hands inside your foot, and then either stay here or come down on your elbows on blocks or elbows on the floor, whatever variation you're doing today. And spend a couple breaths working into your hips. Right, holding space for any tough sensations if it's a really deep stretch. Try to breathe and be in your body as much as you can. Come up on your hands again. Lift your back leg and angle your heel down for warrior two. Try to line up your feet and windmill yourself up. Right arm back, left arm forward. Sit down into that front knee. And then spend a couple breaths just working your warrior two, feeling that burn in your front leg. So don't be shy to get down and low into your front leg here. And then lower down, left hand, right hand. Step back, down dog. Nice work. Inhale, plank pose. Knees or no knees, exhale. Inhale, back bend. And exhale, down dog. Look forward, get ready, breathe in. Walk, step, or jump. Your feet to your hands. Lift up halfway. And exhale, bow. Stand up on your inhale breath, arms overhead. And lower your arms down. Okay, let's do a slightly different squat this time. So big toes come together. Come onto your tippy toes and bend your knees out wide to sit down into a tippy toe squat. From here, a nice variation of this is to sit your bum back, staying high on your toes, and walk your fingers forward, dropping your head toward the floor. And just spend a couple breaths working into the stretch in the back of your body, feeling the stretch across your waist, and trying your best to let your head go here. If you're pretty good with your balance, one option is to take your arms back in front of your shins and bring your forehead toward the ground. Right? But it's just an option. Couple breaths here. And then let's practice a crow pose. So take your arms up. Okay, put your hands underneath your shoulders, nice and solid in your hands. Lift your bum way up high and bend your elbows way down low. So these are my best tips for you for how to get into crow pose. Bum up high, elbows way down low. Get your knees up on top of your upper arm bones so that your knees are resting on top of your arms. And then from there, you lean forward, lift one of your feet up, and see if you can get more comfortable with putting weight in your hands. Maybe try knees up high, lifting the other foot up. Maybe you lean so far forward that both of your feet come up. Okay, active hands. Breathing here for 3. Active hands, lean forward, do your best. 2. And then we can go ahead and step back, downward facing dog. Why don't we stretch it out again? So come to plank pose, breathe in. Exhale, lower down. Breathe a back bend. And exhale, let's go child's pose for a second. Knees wide, big toes together. Settle back, take a little rest in your child's pose. And then come on back up into your down dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, step your right foot forward to your right hand. Lower your left knee down. We'll come low lunge again. Arms up. Breathe in. Exhale, lower your hands back down to the floor. Now, here's where you might use your blocks if your hamstrings are tight. We're going to step the back foot forward a bit and then angle the heel in at 45 degrees in that back foot. So both feet are flat. Right leg straightens. Bow yourself down your front leg. Maybe you don't need your blocks. Maybe you do. Couple breaths here. For what we call pyramid pose, a nice hamstring stretch. For my more advanced students, notice if your hips are kind of twisted and tilted open like this. If that's the case, try to pull your right hip back a bit and left hip forward. It's a small adjustment. Right hip back, left hip forward. Okay. Lift up your chest a little bit. Grab a block with your right hand and move your right hand block forward at about 1 foot in front of your right foot, just off the side a little bit, and open up for half moon. Turn your left toes out to the side and reach your left arm up to the sky for your half moon. Line up your left leg behind your body rather than in front of your body, and then pick up your left heel. Work into your glutes here for 3. Get big. For 2. And then lower your feet together, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step back, down dog. Here's an option again to do a flow, but if your wrists are getting tired, you can also take a child's pose. So option to come through, plank pose, lower down, back bend, and down dog. Lift up your left leg to the sky, breathe in. As you exhale, step your left foot forward, lower your right knee on the ground, come up into your low lunge, breathing in. Exhale, lower your hands down to the floor or blocks, okay? Step your back foot forward a little bit, angle your right heel in, left leg straight, bow yourself down over your left leg for your pyramid pose. Both feet angled down into the earth, front leg straight if you can. Pulling that subtle adjustment, left hip back, right hip forward. Breathe what you feel in your hamstring. Okay. Find your block in your left hand, move it forward a little bit, slightly to the side, and then open up to the side for your half moon pose. Pick up your right leg, reach your right arm long, stack your shoulders, stack your hips, and then lift your pinky toe in that right leg as high as you can for 3, breathe it. For 2, and then bring your feet together, forward fold, nice work. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow yourself in. Stand up this time. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, rise. And lower your arms down and beside your body. Okay. We'll find a little bit of balancing work here with our tree pose sequence. Stand on your right foot, lean over, and lift your left foot up onto your right inner thigh. Bring your hands to your heart. And then option here is to bring your arms up as well. Okay, nice and focused in your balance. If you're feeling really good, you can close your eyes maybe. And by closing your eyes, you make balancing more challenging. Okay, open your eyes and bring your hands to your heart. Ankle on your thigh, let's sit back. There's a chair behind you, sit onto it. Work your balance here. If you want to play with an arm balance, if you know this one, Ekapata Galavasana, flying pigeon, you can do it with me, hands down, flat on the floor. You can hook your left toes around your right armpit, your left knee into your left armpit, just like crow pose. It's a lean forward. You try to pick up your right foot. This might be where you're at, and that's awesome. Just try leaning forward. picking up your foot. You can also go into extension of this leg, but that's maybe for another day. Okay, play with here, just for a couple breaths. Coming up when you're ready, not quite done. Bring your leg this time all the way over your right leg for eagle pose. Bring your left arm under your right arm. Give yourself a hug or pretzel your wrists together. And then firm into the center here. Find your balance. Under your arms and legs and stand tall. Good work. All right, other side. Stand on your left foot, pick up your right foot to your inner thigh. Arms up. Maybe close your eyes. Hands to your heart. Cross your ankle on your thigh. Sit back into a chair. You can stay here, right? You don't have to do the arm balance. You have the option of playing with it. Hands down. Hook your right toes around your left armpit. Right knee into your right armpit. Play with hopping your foot off the ground, leaning forward. And then coming up to stand again. We're not done. Keep that leg up. Cross your right leg all the way over. Right arm under your left arm. Clasp your hands. Breathing. And then under your arms and legs, stand for a moment. Pause. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And step back, downward facing dog. Come to plank pose, breathe in. Knees or no knees, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Come on through to a seat. So step or jump through, and we're gonna do a second round of core. So boat pose again, but this time bring your blocks close by because we're going to practice a little bit of a hover, which is what we're gonna need to get into our crazy eights. So blocks are close to you on either side of your hips. Hold on to the back of your thighs. Here we go, lift your legs up. Option to let go of your thighs, option to straighten your knees, right? You can do that if you want. We're gonna hang out here, breathe for 3. Breathing for 2. Okay, now, place your hands onto your blocks, cross your shins, and do your best to lift at least your butt off the floor. If not, both your legs as well. And then see if you can hover off the ground for 3. Do your best. For 2. And then lower your butt. Lift your legs back up into boat pose. Here we go. Heart lifted, strong core, big energy here for 3. Breathing. For 2, cross your shins. Here we go. Push down at least your butt. Maybe your legs too. Do your best. Hover, hover. Feel your abs. 3, 2. Come down and lift your legs one more time. Hover your legs. Lift your heart. Breathe for 3, for 2. And cross your shins and fold forward. Good job. Take a little break. Let's do a little bit of a leg stretch here. So take your legs wide for Upavishta, or wide-legged forward fold. Make sure you're on your sitting bones. One of the ways that I like to get that is holding on to my inner thigh on one side, leaning away and rolling the inner thigh back. And they do the same thing on this side. Roll your inner thigh back. And then from here, sit tall, press into your hands and hinge at your hips to start to fold forward. Now, many of us, It's a good idea to keep the hands back to help kind of push the body forward. If you're feeling pretty flexible, you might bring your arms in front instead and support yourself as you come down this way. Keep your toes pointing at the sky, and let's spend a couple breaths here, working into the legs. Inhale and exhale. Feeling the stretch in your groin and your hamstrings. Last couple breaths. Can you let your head go a little bit more? Walk your hands back slowly if you're forward. Sit yourself up. Hold on to your knees and scoop your knees in. Okay. And then let's do one more upward facing plank pose. So we did this earlier, fingers pointing forward, feet wide. Level 2, the harder version, is to have your legs forward almost straight with your heels on the floor. And you're going to push into your feet and lift your hips and your chest up. You can do that if you want. I'm going to stick with this one. So you can do this with me. Feet wide, toes pointing forward. Here we go. Hips up. Either way. Your chest is lifted, hips lifted, nose lifted. Do your best here. Glutes working for 3, 2, and then lower down. Nice work. Hold on to your thighs. Let's rock and roll. Forward and back again a couple times. And then you can step, walk, or jump your way through to your push-up or your down dog. Feel free to flow through. And I'll meet you in down dog in a moment here. All right. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands for warrior 2. So turn your left toes out. Feet are lined up. We did warrior earlier. Sit down into your right leg deeply. Gaze over your right hand. Settle for a moment. Feel into your legs. Okay, now place your left hand onto your hip and your right hand onto your shoulder here. And we're going to do a couple movements where your elbow goes down to touch the inside of your ankle. So you might go just to your shin or your knee. Do your best, as low as you can. Take an inhale. Exhale, elbow to inside of your ankle if you can. Inhale, come up again. Exhale, go and touch your ankle. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, go down. Try to touch your ankle. Okay. Now from here, take your right hand in a semicircle position behind your ankle. Tuck your shoulder under your knee. Take your left hand behind your back. If you can clasp opposite hands, you're working for a full bind. That's awesome. If you can't, don't worry. Take your right arm straight to the floor and do a half bind. Either way, full bound or half bound side angle. Open up your chest to the side and breathe here for a couple breaths. Inhale and exhale, strong and steady. And then release. Look down and lower your hands on the floor inside your foot. Come on the tippy toes of your back foot and lower your left knee on the ground. Nice job. Okay, grab your blocks. One on either side. We're going to come to a splits. So walk your right foot forward a little bit. Come up on your right heel. Point your toes at the sky. Walk your blocks back. And then we go up first, lengthen to come forward, belly over the thigh. Feel into the stretch in your hamstrings. Keep your front toes perky up to the sky. We'll spend a couple breaths here. If you're feeling flexible and you want to go a bit further, feel free to inch yourself out. Trying again to keep your hips facing forward rather than opening up to the side. Breathing what you're feeling here in your hamstrings. We need lots of hamstring opening for our 8 angle pose. So see if you can get into it a little bit here. Breathe strong and steady. Okay, when you're ready, slide your leg back. And we'll just stretch it out. So you have an option here. We've been doing lots of flows. If you want to just rest in child's pose, rest in child's pose. If you want to go through a flow, you can come with me. Come from down dog into plank. Exhale, lower down, knees or no knees. Inhale, take a back bend. Exhale, go back to down dog. Left leg lifts up, breathe in everyone. Exhale, step forward for warrior two. Turn your right toes out, windmill yourself back, and sit down into your front leg deeply. Settle for a moment. Okay. Once again, let's do right hand on the hip like a teapot. Left hand on your shoulder. We're going to go down elbow to ankle. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale as low as you can. Go. Maybe it's your shin, maybe it's your knee. Inhale, come up again. Exhale, go for your ankle if you can. Inhale, back up. One more time, low as you can go. Okay, now stay down. Take your left hand, semicircle behind your ankle. Tuck your shoulder under. Clasp for opposite hands. Or take a half bind. Left arm to the floor. Right hand stays behind, holding onto your left thigh. Okay, you can also go for opposite hand clasp for your full bind. Breathe here. Back leg pressing straight. Left butt cheek scooping underneath. Breathe into your bound or half bound side angle here for a couple breaths. Good. Come down, both hands on the floor. Back foot on tiptoes, right knee on the ground. Nice work. Grab your blocks. And we're going to do our splits pose. Walk your left foot forward a bit. Come up on your left heel. Blocks, come back. We go up and forward in the chest. Stretch and breathe here. If you wish to go longer, take yourself out a bit and spend a couple breaths working a little bit further into your splits pose. Okay, slide your leg back and stretch out your legs. Down dog, child's pose, or flow, up to you. You can go through with me if you like. Plank to lower, back bend, and down dog. All right, come on through to a seat. So, here's the peak sequence of our class. This is our crazy eights, building towards our 8 angle pose. It's a sequence of poses that builds on itself. And so I will show you the next phase of whatever we're doing. And then if you feel like you can't do the next phase, then you just stay right where you are and work on the one before, and we'll transition into the next side after, okay? Let's start with the left leg. So straighten out your right leg and bring your left leg in. Hook your elbows underneath your shin and give your left leg a little rock. So this is sort of the first phase or the first stage of this pose. You can hang out here and breathe, okay? For the next stage, if you'd like to join us, we go right elbow around the heel of the foot from the bottom. So you can take a look, elbow around the heel, left elbow around the knee, clasp your hands, okay? So once you have your hands clasped around your leg, you bring your foot up a bit and then towards your body, and you'll feel a nice deep hip stretch here. And then you can think you're rocking your baby here. Give your baby a little bit of a rock, stretching out your hip, okay? Next phase, left hand, semicircle behind your ankle, like we did just now in side angle. Hand under and behind the ankle. Right hand outside the foot. Right hand outside the foot. From here, you lean over and put your little designer purse onto your shoulder, okay? Put your knee onto your shoulder. Look underneath your leg and take your left hand and place your hand off to the side. Once your hand is on the floor, look under your leg and press your top leg towards straight for sundial pose. So you're working a bit of a side stretch and a little bit, well, a lot of a hamstring stretch here. Now, a good thing to do is to push this bottom arm back against your leg to prevent your leg from being too straight. Breathe here for a bit. Okay. From here is the last stage, is our side angle arm balance. So from here, you can take your knee, your purse, and bring it higher on your shoulder. Put your hands on the floor. Here's where the hovering comes in handy. You're gonna push down and lift your butt. Maybe lift your leg, your bottom leg. Cross your left leg, your right leg on top of your left leg, and squeeze your thighs. From here, bend your elbows if you want, and hover off the ground. You push up, and then come back down again. Whoa, stretch it out for a second, nice work. All right, so no matter which stage you did, that was really good. We're gonna do the other side. Okay, here we go. Elbows under your right shin. If you're watching this video and you're like, oh, this is really crazy, I'm never gonna be able to do that, you go slowly, right? I wasn't able to do that at one point either in my life, and I slowly built up to it. So you just work away at it. Here you go. Next stage, left elbow around the heel of your right foot. Elbow around the heel. Right elbow around your knee. Clasp your hands, right? Once your hands are clasped, you lift your foot higher and bring your shin closer to your body. Rock your baby and give yourself a little stretch here. Okay. From here, option next. Right hand semicircle comes inside and under the ankle, your Achilles. Left hand comes outside the foot. That's right hand inside the ankle, left hand outside the foot. Lean away from that right leg and then put your purse on your shoulder again. The knee comes up onto your shoulder. Take your right hand and put it on the floor. Look underneath your arm and then press your leg towards straight into your sundial pose. I like to look up to the sky under my left armpit. Again, to prevent that right leg from going too straight, push your arm into the leg. Breathe here, sundial. And then bend your right knee. Here you go, 8 angle. You get your knee up high on your arm. Put your hands down. Okay, we work on that butt hover. Lift your bum up. Lift your bottom leg up. Cross your left leg on top of your right leg. Squeeze your thighs. And then bend your elbows to hover. Push back up. And then lower down. Stretch it out. Nice work. Let's do a little forward fold. So find your sitting bones. We'll reach up nice and tall. And then reach forward and down. Take a second. Rounding in. Breathe into your back. Let your head go. Awesome work. Okay, keep your head down. Don't look up. Just listen to my voice. Keep your head down. Move your hands back on the floor until your hands are on the floor beside your thighs. And then like a push-up, push into your arms to roll your spine up to sitting. Sit tall for a moment, relax, breathe. Awesome. Let's lay down and do a little bit of cooling down, okay? So bring a block with you as you lie down on your back. Give your knees a little bit of a hug. Feel free to lean side to side, rock out your lower back a bit. And then lift your hips up and take your block, put your block underneath your sacrum. That's the flat bone at the base of your spine, just above your tailbone. And then take both arms and legs up to the sky just to hang out here in a dead bug pose. So let your head be heavy. I like to do this just because it's the total opposite of what we were just doing, right? It's so relaxed and gives your body a chance to sort of recoup, to settle back down. Maybe you got really excited with that pose that we just did. So you're just taking a second to feel your back on the earth. Slow down your breathing. And then lower one of your legs, bend your knee, put your foot on the floor. Lower your other leg down. Lower your arms down. Let's take a deep breath here together. Inhale. And let it go. Awesome. Take your block up. Come on through and up, through the seat into your downward facing dog. We'll just finish with some cool down stretches. Take your right shin and bring your right shin forward across your mat for pigeon. So your knee's on the right side of your mat, your foot's on the left side. Make sure you don't have any knee pain here. If you do, you might put a block underneath your right hip. No knee pain, please, in your pigeon pose. From here, come down on your elbows if you like, or bring your head down into your hands. Spend a couple breaths here. Wind down your entire system. So if that means slowing down your breathing, or if that means relaxing your muscles a bit more, do that. Maybe it just means bringing your awareness a little bit more to how you're feeling. Or maybe just listening a little bit more to the sounds in your room. Just bringing yourself into a little bit of a quieter state of being as we cool down. Okay, when you're ready, if you have a block underneath your right hip, take it out. Lean over on your right hip and swing your back leg forward until it hooks outside your foot for a little twist, okay? If this is too wound up and your left butt is off the floor, just straighten out your right leg, okay? But you can have your knee bent with me if you like. From here, bring your right arm around the front of your shin and take your left hand behind your body to rotate for half Lord of the Fishes pose, a twist. This is a nice way to twist. If you want to go deeper, you might hook your elbow outside your thigh and press a bit more. I'm just going to stay here today though. Okay, spend a couple breaths. Untwist your spine, little counter twist the other way. And then come back to the middle. Let's rock roll back. Maybe through a seat you can walk through or jump through if you want to. When you're ready, bring your left shin forward for your pigeon pose. And then again, no pain in the front knee. Adjust and modify if you need to. Come down on your elbows. Let your head go. Spend a couple breaths here. Okay, when you're ready, lean over on your left hip. Same thing, swing that back leg around to the front. Hook your foot outside your thigh. And then we'll come into that twist again. The left arm comes around the front of your shin. Right finger's behind. Rotate. If you want to hook your elbow, that's fine. Nice and tall. Spend a couple breaths here. to rotate, go the other way, a little counter twist. And then come back and just stay here in the middle, into a seat. Let's do soles of the feet together. And rather than getting too close to your hips for a really tight Baddha Konasana, let's do a little bit of a wider, more relaxed diamond shape. I think this is called star pose. Okay, so we're gonna just fold forward. Now, if your knees tend to be uncomfortable, mine kind of are, so I like to put my blocks outside my shins just for support. So you can do that if you like. Fold forward and let your head rest down. And just spend a couple breaths really relaxing. You can let your head rest into your feet if you're comfortable with that. Let your whole back body be really loose and kind of like rounded in. Breathe into the dome of your ribs. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Move your blocks off to the side and come on down onto your back with me. We're going to get ready for rest. Give your knees a last little hug here. Let's take happy baby pose. So hold on to your ankles or your feet. I like holding on to my ankles. It's a little bit less of a stress on the lower back sometimes. And then just stretch out your legs here in a really easy, relaxed way. From here, go ahead and lower your legs out along the floor. Get yourself all comfortable. Take up some space. And then we're going to rest here. So close your eyes and allow your body to be heavy and relaxed. Come back to your body and take a couple deeper breaths here. You can move a little bit through your fingers and toes. Maybe take a little stretch. Wake up your body. And let's just meet together in a seat to finish off our practice. So sit tall. Feel free to use a block. Close your eyes. Tune into your body, what your energy is like, how you're feeling. That was a really challenging practice, so good job. Bring your hands together, palm to palm, just to finish off your practice. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.